Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a watch that debuted at SIHH 2014, 39 millimeters in rose gold. This is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin Date. So 39 millimeters in diameter, it lives up to its name, automatic winding with a date, but 8.2 millimeters thick and 45.8 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference, it wears well. It's short across the wrist and it's thin, so it'll fit underneath the cuff quite easily, and I can recommend it for him or for her. A wrist as small as, I would say, probably 13 centimeters circumference could wear this watch well. Now, taking a look at the hardware and the software. Software first, you can see this is a JLC factory strap, brand new condition. Camille Fournet of France is the OEM supplier to JLC. Calfskin on the bottom, gator on the top, large rectangular scale alligator leather in a dark brown. You can see there is a monotone stitch, and here we have a sheer cut side showing the layers of leather as well as a little bit of bolstering to give it some volume. The buckle is JLC branded, rose gold, simple, easy to adjust, traditional dress watch fare. The lugs, as you can see, are rather spare and blended into the case band. It's a graceful look that helps the watch live up to its ultra thin billing. You can see that the lugs are tapered, but there's also a little bit of an expanding bevel on their sides, so there's some complexity here. The case band has a lot of curvature to it. You can see that the bezel is somewhat stepped in from the case band to create the impression of a thinner watch still. We then have a vertical kick to the bezel, a conical portion, and then one more vertical kick to border the sapphire. As you can see, the lugs are quite tapered and minimal when viewed end on or side on like this, and in profile the case is quite thin with the case back stepped in dramatically, so the watch is 8.2 millimeters thick. It sits considerably lower when it's on your wrist. Simple JL branded crown, push down crown. Surprisingly for a dress watch, and this is common across JLC dress watches, it's actually a 5-bar or 50-meter water resistance rather than the dress watch standard of 30. So the dial is slightly off-white. It's not quite eggshell or ecru, but it's certainly not a blindingly white silver. It has a little bit of an off-white character to it that lends some much-needed warmth. We have rose gold hands, Dauphine style, split down the center to better contrast against the dial base. You can see here they're actually half frosted to improve their contrast. We have a counterweighted lancet style seconds hand, and then little dart style indices for the hours with a dimple track outboard for reading the seconds and the minutes. Jaeger-LeCoultre logo, a stepped window for the date so you don't have a sheer cut down through the dial. It transitions down with a slope. We have hacking or stop seconds. We also have a quick set date that jumps precisely at midnight. You'll also note that the strap can be removed without tools, as we have pull tab spring bars. So if you want to swap the strap, you can just pull those little tabs and the strap comes right off. Flip the watch over again. As you can see, the evolution of the JLC 889. This is the 899, and the difference is that this includes elements from the caliber 975 auto tractor. So it has unidirectional winding rather than bidirectional. Unidirectional is more efficient. It has ceramic rotor bearings rather than steel. Ceramic more efficient and longer lasting. And it features a free sprung balance rather than a mobile index, this making the watch better able to resist shock without changing its timing. 32 joules, we have the unidirectional automatic winding system. We have a movement with a 43-hour power reserve. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It pivots on 32 joules, and it has real fired blue screws. All of this, once again, 50 meters, water resistant, and it goes through the Master 1000 Hours control, which is a more than 41-day control process that tests chronometry, shock resistance, water resistance, winding efficiency, and power reserve. And when it debuted in the early 90s, the Master 1000 was one of the first in-house tests of movement and watch to go substantially beyond the scope of the COSC's bare movement timing standard. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin Date.